We are back here once again live on the Cats and Rats channel. I'm going to call this the preliminary recap episode. I'm your host, Kirby Lupo. Full panel here, joined alongside my co-host, Cody Stevens, my other co-host, Nick J. Levine. Special guest here today, Armando Velez from the Locked On Florida Panthers podcast network. And before I start with you here, Caesar, you're getting into all this double touching stuff, this curling stuff, all this Canada trolling stuff. What's going on here, Caesar?
I'm not the one cheating. I'm not the one going over the line, touching it.
Oh, and the girls' team's getting
It seems like you Canadians are good with your fingers.
No. That was all AI stuff. I thought this was a hockey.
5 seconds in. What are we doing?
Not a curling streak.
Hey, Team USA beat Sweden. We were the underdogs yesterday in men's curling. So blow it out your ass, Kirby.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna act like I really care.
You didn't call me late. You stayed. This guy, he stayed up till 3-4 in the morning. Canada USA men's were playing. You didn't call me for the result after that.
I stayed up till 7 in the morning and watched that.
I didn't hear who won the game.
Oh, that's because you said, "Oh, I'm falling asleep. Goodbye."
No, that's not why. It's because
yes.
But anyways, gentlemen, Cody, go ahead.
The preliminaries here at the Olympics have now wrapped up. The qualifying round matchups are now set. It is going to be a beautiful time, but the qualifying matchups are set as follows. Germany will face France, Switzerland will face Italy, Czechia will face Denmark, and Sweden will face Latvia. The winners of, I think it is Czechia versus Denmark will play Canada. The winners of Sweden versus Latvia will play the US. Germany versus France, I do believe, is Slovakia, I'm pretty sure. And the winners of Sweden versus Italy will go against Finland. And boys, this is going to be do or die now. This is where best on best is at its best. Do or die, win or go home. All game sevens from here on out. But first, the game that wrapped up the preliminaries today, the U.S. took down Germany 5-1 in a showing where in American best on best we haven't seen in quite a big while. The big guns for the U.S. showed up, a.k.a. Austin Matthews and Connor Hellebuck. And Armando, I will defer to you because you are a guest. What did you see in today's game that impressed you from the U.S.? Because I do believe this was their most complete game of the Olympics so far.
Yeah, and it really came up down to a good first period, which we didn't see in the first two games for the Americans there. And I mean, think about the amount of criticism that Austin Matthews faced in the Four Nations from last year. He wasn't really that much of a force, and then he gets it with 2 goals. He was also a force in the last game as well. So really contributing there was really key for the U.S. there. And the fact that they were able to continue to roll the lines there. I mean, the Kachuk brothers were really impactful in games 1 and in game 3 as well for USA. And then in games 2 and 3, Austin Matthews contributing for the U.S. So I think if you're going to call this guy your captain, he's got to play like it and not really be and do it based on his play instead of like the hype behind it.
Yeah. Well, I said that.
Nick, I want you to jump in because you were pretty critical.
I was pretty critical of that to start the tournament. Coming into this, I was talking significantly about the top end talent that Canada has. I made an argument. You could say Canada has the 5 best players or 5 of the 6 best players in the world on Team Canada, and one of those 6, by the way, isn't even on Team USA. It was on the Team USA play today, and Leon Draisaitl. So you take a look at McKinnon, McDavid, Crosby. You got to put Celebrini in there the way he's playing, and Cale Makar. And when you take a look at how the U.S. is constructed, it is a little bit of a more role-based team. It's a little bit more deep. It's, every guy plays a role. They're very structured when they're at their best. Uh-huh. But it also needed to come down to, okay, like Austin Matthews and Jack Hughes. And I know this isn't maybe the best comparison with how their careers have unfolded, but take a look. McDavid and McKinnon, those are like the first overall picks for Canada, right? Okay, I'm not saying you've got to be that, but Matthews and Hughes, you're the first overall picks for the Americans. You're the talented guys. You're the guys that need to do that. I also criticize Team USA for the goaltending gap. It has not been as wide a margin as we had all hyped it up to be over the years when there was no international play. And it can't just be this slight gap where Connor Hellebuck's 9.14 and Jordan Pennington's 9.05. No, it's got to be like your biggest advantage, right? The blue line is dynamic. They lack some size, but it is a dynamic puck-moving blue line that can skate. They can provide offense. The guys up front, outside of the Tkachuk brothers, they're going to need scoring up and down the lineup, particularly from Austin Matthews and Jack Hughes, because that's where the talent is. That's your McDavid. That's your McKinnon. That's the head-to-head matchup. And then Connor Hellebuck shouldn't even be close. And I don't think that talent was all tapped into until today, really. I mean, you saw Connor Hellebuck make some big saves. Germany was pushing a lot, particularly in that third period. There were a lot of good slot opportunities. I think one of the areas I'm a little bit concerned about with the U.S. is their lack of size on the back end. They have some issues with puck management, getting the puck out of their zone and transporting the puck up the ice cleanly, some instances, and clearing out the front of the net. But if that talent can get unlocked, the depth is there, and if your goaltending advantage is what it needs to be, that's how you win.
I want to just jump in and throw us to Armando. Nick keeps talking about the goaltending situation. I didn't propose this last night on our live stream, Armando, but he's like, it has to be leaps and bounds better. Are you making some allowance there because of how generational and the talent that Canada has in a situation like that, in a matchup like that, or even a matchup against Sweden?
Connor Hellebuck's a Hall of Famer.
You have to give a little bit of an allowance.
Yeah.
Armando, what's your thoughts there?
I would say that it has. I'm more on the side of Nick here, because I think that with Canada and where the amount of firepower that they have is like, but crazy to think. Connor McDavid is 3 points away from setting a single Olympic record. By the way, for what it's worth, he could get it by the next one.
He's going to get it
before the semifinals.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing: the fact that the Canada is more capable of coming in waves than the U.S. based on just the talent alone, and the fact that they could have that nuclear line of McDavid, Celebrini, and McKinnon all there. The USA doesn't have that as far as putting together. Yeah, the Tkachuk brothers are great, but to that level, that's where you got to have Connor Hellebuck really truly steal games here. I mean, really, the fact that he was not only sharp in game 3, but the fact that the USA in game 1 didn't really break through until later. I know that there was some challenges that prevented the USA from pulling away, but those were the right calls. But here's the thing. You want to be in a position where you're playing from ahead, and the fact that you could shut things down and also get the pucks in deep and gain the red lines and also not get caught neither. And even Nick brought it up, the fact that the USA can move the puck well with their defensemen, that gives them that opportunity if their forwards allow themselves to gain the red line properly, so that they can get back and they could close those gaps.
And this only works if Austin Matthews, I'm not saying he needs to be Connor McDavid, but he needs to be going head-to-head with him. Mm-hmm. And he's been considered that type of talent that, I'm not saying he's going to be better than Connor McDavid, or he's more talented than Connor McDavid, but Austin Matthews is a damn good player. This is a guy that needs to go toe-to-toe with Connor McDavid and Nathan McKinnon's of the world, and it hasn't even been close. Jack Hughes is a guy that needs to be more explosive and come up in bigger moments. And when you have that combined with the mediocre results in goaltending over the last 2 years in international play for Team USA, I mean, it's not a recipe for success at all. The blue line can play well. Your depth can play well. I like our depth, but it's the goaltending and your big guys showing up, and they haven't been able to do that. Go ahead, Cody.
Let me jump in. I can make an example of this. So, in the championship game at Four Nations last year, this is where I think the leaps and bounds goaltending needs to be better at. The McDavid one to start the game, that's a McDavid play. That's sometimes all right. The offense was better, but the difference in that game was that Sam Bennett goal. That's the one he needs to have, and that ended up being the difference game, because the overtime winner was McDavid again, and I thought it was a hell of a shot.
And here's the thing, Cody. It's not like Hellebuck was bad, and
it's just he can't have any. He wished he has that back. He has to.
He can't just not be like, oh, he's good, like 28 out of 31. Like, no, I want 30 out of 31. Like, You're a 3-time Vezina winner. You want a heart. Guy's a future Hall of Famer, probably.
He is 3 Vesnas and a heart. That's
3 Vesnas and a heart.
That's
Hall
that's first ballot territory right there. But I want to get into the strength of USA because I thought the key to USA is going to be playing through their back end, and they have the best pairing in the tournament potentially in Quinn Hughes, Zach Werenski. Those two together can tire out a team within 30 seconds, the amount of times they can move, the amount of times they can skate in the zone and make teams just move, tire them out, open things up. And today you saw that leaps and bounds. I mean, Werenski with that goal within, I think, 7 seconds to go, and I thought that was a backbreaker for Germany because their goalie, Franz Reb, really played well from what I saw. You know, the Eichel, the Faber one was tough, but he got Brodeur's screen, which is stick right in front of the mask. So not much he could do there, but I felt like he was making really good saves. It could have been easily 8-0, but I felt like it wasn't because USA wasn't just shooting in his chest. They were making him make glove saves, blocker saves, east to west saves.
Yep.
So that's something I like to see from the US. But Armando, I just want to ask you this, and Nick C's can jump in on this as well. How big was it because Noah Hannafin had a horrible 4 Nations and he's playing way better this year. Probably because the minute allocation is a little bit better for him, but you're seeing guys like Werenski and Hughes, but then Jake Sanderson had a great game. How big is it to see the USA back end, which needs to be their strength, kind of put up this type of performance?
Yeah, and you mentioned how great Zach Werenski is when it came to that goal in the final 10 seconds of the first period against Germany. Let's not forget that he had quite the pizza in that game against Denmark as well that led to Denmark scoring as well.
Hot pepperoni.
So, yeah, so
the game, Cody.
Yeah, so that's a mistake that we hope to not see as it gets later in the tournament as well. And also, let's not forget that Noah Hannafin also had a great score against Denmark as well. That right off the pad followed his own rebound and then was able to get in on the short side blocker there against Denmark. So the fact that Noah Hannafin is your 7th defenseman and you could rotate him there on the final pair. And here's the thing with the fact that you could dress the 7 and rotate it there. This is great for Mike Sullivan's wheelhouse as far as the minutes allocation there for the guys there who have been through a lot of long playoff runs here for some of these guys here. So that's really the case. That's really going to be helpful for the US as it gets longer.
Yeah, I thought Jackson Lacombe was maybe a guy that I would kind of insert into the lineup, Armando, to add that different kind of dimension there. I think they're kind of missing that a little bit with Seth Jones. A lot of the guys, same. You can tell me what your thoughts are on Charlie McAvoy as well. I want to know your take. I want to bring back to the goalies here. You can comment on the defense. I've heard some people say 3 goalies starting for USA. What was your feelings of that in the group stage here? Where were you at with the goaltending coming into this tournament?
You're riding and you're dying with Hellebuck.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't what I was hearing out there.
Yeah, I know, but I
think you said it. I think didn't Cody want 3 goalies?
Cody?
I thought about it, but then once it got closer and I realized how many preliminary games there were, like there's 3. You gotta if the minute they started Hellebuck today, if they saw Nanger, okay. But the minute they started him today, you're riding with Hellebuck the rest of this way.
I don't think you could have started with Ottinger or Armando because then Hellebuck's sitting for 2 games. He's like, what's going on?
I'm surprised Ottinger wasn't even the backup
that was
the second game. That was a shocker.
Yes.
And Swayman legitimately had probably the worst goalie game in the Olympics right now. I don't know about any of the 10 goal games. I'm not too sure about that, but none of them let a goal in from center ice.
Some of those goalies didn't give up 10. They were exhausted and had to be pulled or they were injured.
I know, but like he's got to have the center ice one. I'm sorry. And he can't have that bomb from the point where he's not even screened really. And
it was JT Miller that screened him, I believe.
Yeah, but he was but it was so far out you could still see it. And it was just an overall good game for him. And it's like you're just riding with Hellebuck all the way. If you win the gold, he's in net. I really thought Andre would have been the backup.
You had him pretty high there. Caesar, what was your thoughts there quickly on that?
I'm not gonna lie. I did think about starting Swayman, because Swayman has had a really good year this season. But again, he proved me wrong. He doesn't do good in pressure situations, and we've seen him in the playoffs where he against Florida and time again years, and even last year he didn't do well either. So, I don't know what it is with big pressure situations, but the big moments, Swayman doesn't do well, and this was a perfect opportunity to turn that around and change the narrative. And those 2 goals, I'm sorry, you cannot let those in. I understand it's the preliminary rounds, and you lost it, but how the hell do we find out now he's colorblind? Like, what the heck is that? That must have surprised you, Armando.
He's got to be red-green colorblind. Like,
possibly. I'm not colorblind, so I don't know how the views would be versus those green/blackish boards slash mix of yellow there. So and has nothing to do with the seats as well, because all the fans had different colored jerseys. So yeah, he even said it had nothing to do with the boards. So
he
I'll
just
take it
missed
for
it.
what it's worth.
I just want to say on a little bit on Caesar's point there, I would put a little bit of blame on Jim Montgomery throwing him in there playing musical chairs there with Swayman. But then Swayman did come back, and you know this, Armando. He put up elite numbers against Florida in that 6-game series. He lets in the Forsling go at the end that everyone's going to talk
I still
about,
don't know how the hell that beat him.
He was elite.
Yeah,
but like it just like, and like he was a big reason why Boston even beat Toronto in 24. Like Boston
he hasn't reached those levels.
But once that goalie wins that big game, shift changes. Like Bobrovsky, that game 7 versus Boston was the first true big game that he's won. Like against Tampa and Columbus, that was a 4-game sweep. So there wasn't necessarily a big game in there. But once game 7,
all 3 of his game 7s have been with Florida. He's only played 3 game 7s, and they've all been with Florida.
And then,
and let's not forget that Jeremy Swayman was the goaltender last year for the World Championship. So there's a trust factor there for putting him in the crease there. So
I try to mention to these guys, Armando, how much does the World Championships matter? When you talk about Tage Thompson, we'll get to Canada maybe a little bit more later. Macklin,
what a bomb, by the way, Tage Thompson this today.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just mentioned right there, which I wasn't even aware of, Jeremy Swayman. So I think that's playing a part here, Armando, on best years or going into those years.
No doubt. I mean, look at the guys who get rewarded for it. I mean, Tate Thompson got the golden goal for the U.S. there last year, and then you think Macklin Celebrini for Canada went there while Connor Bedard didn't. I mean, I don't know if Connor Bedard would still have the season that he did had he not done his own offseason training program. So maybe it's a win-win for everybody. But still, it sticks with managers, and I feel that you gotta at least. I was not surprised that he got that opportunity, but at the same time, one shaking game, it's going to be remembered. So if there's a situation where you're going into a quarterfinal game on Wednesday, you can't. I mean, I can't see a reason why he would be the backup. I would have to say that Ottinger would be.
Yeah, and this is a preview for another 4 years now. Too.
Even though Ottinger hasn't seen any games at all, you're not worried about that?
No. I mean, he had that dud. He got pulled against Edmonton in the Western Conference Final.
That wasn't his fault. Decision.
Yeah, that was all on the coaching. But I mean, I want to see on the international level, like where the stakes are a little bit different.
Yeah, and the thing is now is just in 4 years, Hellebuck, I truly doubt it's gonna be the starter for Team USA. It's going to be one of, most likely. I don't know if there's going to be any newcomers. Maybe Dustin Wolf finally pops off within those 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer Knight could have a big 4 years within then. Like heck, Trey Augustine could pop up for all I know. I don't know.
Maybe Jacob Fowler, Floridian.
I tried to tell Cody that one.
Yeah, but that's in 4 years, not this year.
No, he already played this year. You said he wasn't going to get games this year, and he got the games in this year.
Yeah, I just said they're not a cup contender yet until they find that goalie. But
I don't know in the East this year.
but
I can see a conference
in 4 years. Your starter is most likely going to be one of Jake Ottinger and Jeremy Swayman, and that's going to be a big preview for the future. And I think the U.S. starting to take the IHF World Championships a lot more serious is going to increase
I
their
think there's so
chance.
many goalies, Cody, in the U.S. system. I'm not gonna stand on that today.
It's like the goalies in our system are like forwards in your system, except we can only play one goalie. Like we just have the gold mine of them, and it's just. But for the U.S., I think taking the World Championships a lot more seriously has kind of improved their best on best play in the senior division of it. But anyway, the U.S. clinched up the 2 seed with Sweden. Them and Canada were the only 2 undefeated teams. But unfortunately, the U.S. did not play one of the 2 worst teams in the Olympics, so the goal differential went to Canada instead of the U.S. But either way, can't compare apples and oranges. But this sets up a potential. Anything could happen here. I have no idea what's going to happen because it's one game tournament from here on out. A potential gold medal matchup between Canada and the U.S. But the U.S. are going to have the toughest first-round matchup going against the Swedes. If they do beat Latvia, I'm saying anything can happen. Anything. But those power rankings right there, I would have to agree. I think U.S., Canada, somehow Slovakia are the top 3 teams in this tournament so far.
Do you guys, so what team, so the qualifying rounds are Tuesday. We got times up. I'll share them here in a bit.
Yep.
Do we want to move into who's going to make it in the qualifying rounds?
We could save that for the second half towards the end. But the U.S. clinching up the 2 seed is, look, it's a pretty big thing for them. I mean, you're in the quarters now, and if you go against Sweden, heck, your second round matchup most likely will not be harder than this one. And I think Sweden's a team the U.S. can beat because the way Sweden got beat versus Finland, the U.S. play a similar type of game. Sweden is not great along the boards. The U.S., all they want to do is use the boards. And by the way, last thing on that Germany-U.S. game, watching Germany's power play felt like watching a Panther game again. It was so – I know it's the same coach, but it was the exact same. Hell, the Stutzla zone entry was Barkov-esque, where he just veered off to the right and then just fed it off to the board, fed it off to, I guess, whoever Kachuk is in that situation. But – I mean, your guys' thoughts here. I mean, the U.S. do pull somehow the hardest matchup most likely in the first round, but with the way Sweden is playing, maybe it isn't. But
you don't have the 2 Carlsons who are centers in Sweden right now, William and Leo.
They would make that team harder to play against.
So that's at least the advantage that and I was critical of Elias Pettersson in the first game for Sweden, but he kind of showed up in the last 2, kind of being a force, especially on the penalty kill, taking away the passing lanes and on the entries as well. And also there was one big goal, I forget who scored it, where he set a pretty nice screen there, got right in front and finished off a battle there that resulted in a goal for Sweden. So I thought that despite all the criticism that someone like Elias Pettersson has had, he had a pretty good latter half of the preliminary round.
Yeah. And Nylander has had several opportunities. Kirby showed me a nice little stat there. He's actually second amongst forwards in scoring chances, but just hasn't had the luck. So
they're also at an automatic disadvantage because they got what's his name? Sammy Boy?
Sam
Sammy
Hallam.
Boy behind the bench.
Sam Hallam
might be one of the worst hockey coaches I've ever seen. I just don't understand some of the decisions that he's made, and you go back to last year.
Forsberg for one shift,
well, and then OEL's just stapled.
Well, Armando, did you notice where Forsling started with Dahlin, and then I thought they played very well in the first game,
and then he goes back to Carlson.
Forsling goes with Erik Karlsson. It was a disaster class pairing against Finland, and then he goes back. Okay, I'm going to throw Forsling back with Dahlin, and then inside of games he switches D pairings. That is like a 101 no-no, like in hockey.
Well, I think, and we're used to it as Panther fans. Where what do the Panthers not do? Mess with their D pairs.
But that's more traditional. And I, as much as I get frustrated with Armando, you know that sometimes I want the first pairing to be shaken up a little bit. Coaches trust in the pairings, and they don't want to make so many things volatile by switching those D pairs. Especially this year when we have all the
Panthers have
the other thing,
switched their D pairs since the playoffs in 22. That was the last time that's happened.
But I'm not asking that of the Swedish.
Yeah.
but he's doing it at an extreme level right now.
It started last year when Rasmus Dahlin, the best Swedish defenseman in the world, currently, played the fourth most amount of ice time amongst defensemen last year, pretty much, for games for Sweden. You take a look at back-to-back years, they lose to Finland, which if they would have beat Finland that game, they would have been in the gold medal game probably instead of Canada last year. So if Sweden beats Finland without Heiskanen, they go to the gold medal game. If Sweden beats Finland this year without Barkov, where are they at now? I just think they've lost the back-to-back years to Finland losses. Really do put Sweden at a disadvantage. I think it was unacceptable, those two losses, number one. Number two, I think you take a look at Philip Forsberg, who's probably the third or fourth best forward on Sweden.
He's losing ice time to Pontus Holmberg.
And he's losing ice time to Pontus Holmberg. Oliver Ekman-Larsson at 0 minutes. It's a 5-2 game against Italy, and you can't find 30 seconds for Oliver Ekman-Larsson? Is that a joke? And then, as Kirby said, you freaking go to Dahlin and Forsling one game, and then you're back to Carlson Forsling the next. I mean, I don't think this guy has a fucking clue what he's doing, genuinely. I mean, I do not get the roster decisions, leaving home Matthias Ekholm, playing Forsberg 1 minute, barely playing Dahlin enough last year, losing to Finland shorthanded in back-to-back years. That's not acceptable.
And Armando, youth sports, reffing them, being around them, me coaching them. He plays Philip Forsberg. He's a professional athlete. I get that for a minute. And then he throws him out there next game. He turns it over. And he's like, well, back to the bench. Or, hey, I'm losing confidence. And it's like, how is he going to gain confidence when he's not out there?
I mean, yeah, the difference in youth sports is basically you have to play everybody because you're going to get that angry parent. That's not like that in this level. So, yeah. But, hey, you still got to give him an opportunity to not mess up neither. I know it's the highest stakes when it comes to the Olympics, but I mean,
it was against Italy.
There's a 40 goal score, man.
This isn't some fucking fourth line plug. This is a 40 goal scorer, probably
a top line winger,
fourth best forward on Sweden. He is not worse than Pontus Holmberg. I don't think he's worse than, let's say, I don't know. I know he's a center, but Elias Lindholm. And the thing with Ekman-Larsson, he chooses Ekman-Larsson over Matthias Ekholm, and then he doesn't play Ekman-Larsson. Would Matthias Ekholm have played 0 minutes in that game?
No.
No fucking way. So the guy can't seem to get out of his own way, and it's costing Sweden games. And, I think Jim Behringer last night said that this is going to be his last tournament as the coach for Sweden. But, they're saying Finland needs Paul Maurice. I think Sweden needs him a hell of a lot more because that guy has zero clue.
Was that Armando?
Yeah, I was about to say this might be Antti Penninen's last Olympics as well because they're not really happy about.
Well, they got Yolonen over there with Italy, Armando.
Yeah. So. And I guess the question, for before we move on real quick, for Sweden, who's in net? I think it's Gustafsson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Like they have 3 guys, but unfortunately, I think the best guy they have is the young guy they don't want to play.
Oh, you mean they're benching talent? Shocker.
I mean, hell, Matthias Ekholm's at home in probably Sweden right now, enjoying the time off.
I mean, maybe Bill Guerin's calling up Sweden, telling them, "Hey, don't play Gustafsson because of the trade value, possibly because their other goaltender for Slovakia, Halavai. I mean, he's been a dog."
Yep. And it's funny. It's like his AHL numbers aren't actually exactly the greatest, but
neither were Walsh last year.
AHL save percentage means less and less. So we come to figure out.
But anyway, moving on to the 1 seed with their 8-goal victory over, I think it was France, the cannon fodder that is France, the French country. Canada locks down the number 1 seed. Into no shock, the forward core has been dominant. Macklin Celebrini is probably in the middle of a huge coming out party. I think the biggest coming out party we have seen since, I don't know, a guy named Sidney Crosby did it when he was 18 years old. I know Macklin's in his second year, but still, this is Crosby-esque, I feel, at some point. And Canada seems like they have the next great number one center for the Canadian forwards down the middle for years to come. And like I feel like the defense has been pretty good so far, but then again, it's hard not to be good defensively when your forwards have the puck all the time. And then Bennington had the shutout. Thompson had a, I guess, okay game. He didn't really.
I thought
the Canadian goalies haven't been tested too much quite yet, but Canada has handled their business in their group. They are the number one seed, and they are going to face either Czechia or I believe Denmark.
That's correct. That 8-9 matchup there. So, Armando, what's your feelings kind of on Canada here? Also, like looking ahead to the future here with Macklin Celebrini, we're seeing it out in the presence. Remember, Sidney Crosby wasn't invited in 06, so he missed out on that. And he's missed out on 2 Olympics since here with the players not playing in the Olympic action. So what's your takes here on that? And then Nick also commented too, we don't need to go down this path again, but the future is coming for Canada on that blue line too, probably next Olympics here.
Yeah, I mean,
it's so good we heard it twice. If you know, you know.
I mean,
echo.
I mean, you think about guys who are not going to be here next time around. More than likely, Sidney Crosby. More than likely, Drew Doughty is not going to be around for this squad. I mean, and I texted my friend JD Young of Locked On Sharks saying when the 2034 Olympics come around, possibly we could see Macklin Celebrini get the C after it's passed down to McDavid after this one. So or maybe 2038, one of those. But so I think he's the future captain of this Canadian squad based on how he's come alive so quickly. And I mean, when you think about how Canada can just go nuclear, like we see in Edmonton, whenever Draisaitl and McDavid are together, the fact that you have what people are calling the heart line, crazy to think that again, you could put these guys together and then you could find a way to just like Kirby said, have the puck constantly in your own ozone. And the fact is that Sidney Crosby is your third line center. And then you have familiarity. Here's the thing. John Cooper has put guys who are familiar with each other throughout this whole tournament. I know Brad Marchand didn't play in the last 2, but you saw an all-Florida line in game number 1. You saw Mitch Marner and Mark Stone together on that third line. I mean, we even saw an all-Tampa line in last year's 4 Nations. So that's a great thing about having multiple guys from multiple teams put together here. So that's really an advantage that Canada has as well when it comes to putting these guys together.
Cody?
Look, Canada has been the best team in this tournament so far. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this. I don't think that back end's been tested enough. Because, like I said, they have played against, like, the group they were in.
You said originally they were the toughest group, Cody, coming in.
Yeah.
I thought, but then the way they played, it just shit themselves.
I live streamed it. I thought they were challenged in the Czechia game. I thought Switzerland.
When you guys said, like, on last stream, I wasn't on you.
Switzerland.
Like, no, when you guys said last stream that you guys saw Canada had the toughest start, I think it was Finland. That's just me because I think they went Slovakia, Sweden.
That's fine because Slovakia was a sleeper in this tournament. But
no, they went Czechia, Sweden. But still,
Caesar, you go first. Then Armando. How have they been tested? Go ahead.
I don't think they have been tested.
They haven't trailed.
They haven't been, like 5-0 is not
when they're running through teams like
I just like and this no. See, and I'm not trying to say this is nothing against Canada because I feel like this year they came because we haven't seen an Olympics since 2014. Canada hasn't been known to be this physical of a team since 2010 maybe.
They were always physical. 20.
I feel like I was surprised. So I think they're really physical. I think they're the most physical team in this tournament, and they've showed it. I think that's one thing that I thought they had the skill set because we've all seen McDavid in the playoffs. We haven't seen McDavid play this physical in the playoffs, and he's showing it now.
Well, if I could
jump in because I don't agree with this.
Can I just say what I feel about Canada is it feels inevitable. I mean, I get it. People are going to say, oh, I didn't face adversity. Okay, yes, I get it. Sometimes it's talking points to fucking make the ratings go up so we can pretend like we don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, that's what's out there on social
But
media.
we all
here's
know.
here's the thing.
Tested.
Let me just say this. Facing adversity, this tournament's a little different when you have the experience they have. It's like, oh, when do they face adversity? There's just some teams that the confidence exudes from them and the pedigree is there, and it doesn't matter about freaking adversity. I just think the pedigree's there, the talent's there, the roster construction's there. They're on a mission. It's not even close. They have the best players in the world. And look, they're so clinical in their effort. I mean, they don't need to face adversity to win this thing, right? And they're the most talented team here by far, in my opinion. I think.
Okay. Just to jump back to Armando, tested is one thing, facing adversity is another.
Doesn't matter if they're tested. You know they're good enough.
Adversity. You're not.
I think they've been tested.
Everybody was saying Everybody was saying before the tournament, "Oh, Czechia, this, that, the other thing about Czechia." And look, you can only play who you play, right? But
Czechia was a bronze medal contender at the beginning of the
correct.
Now everyone's turning to
this whole idea that they haven't been tested.
Well, I picked Germany, so it's different from me.
There is a certain level of confidence that comes with the talent and the proven pedigree that Canada has. They are an exception to the rule. Kind of like when you think of the most dominant teams in sports, it's like, whatever. Whatever happens.
The Dodgers in baseball weren't tested this year, but kind of
correct, right?
That's a whole different bag of worms right there.
But there's just certain
teams.
There are just certain teams.
But Canada doesn't buy their talent though.
There are certain teams that are so good that are immune to it, and I would put this Canada team in that category. I think they, in essence, are immune to the talking points of have they faced adversity, have they been tested, have they this, that. They're going to be ready to play. They're on a mission. They got the most talented team. A group of forwards and overall team, and I don't know when you want to say Kirby. I know you'll say some will say 2014, others say 2010. I don't know, but
I want Armando to jump on. 2014 was a defensive masterclass. You've seen it the other way now.
3 goals against in 2014 throughout the entire tournament.
Yeah.
What are they at right now? 4?
3.
3.
So they're right at that number.
Yeah. But Armando, jump in. Give us your take on this situation. Tested adversity. Go ahead.
Listen, I think when you have the amount of Stanley Cup champions that you have in that room there, that you could be fine with wiping the floor or in this case, the ice of your opponent and just be ready the next game. Let's also consider this. They're not staying in the Olympic Village neither. So they are focused and when it comes to the interviews that you've heard from guys like Nathan McKinnon is like, I'm not here to have fun. I'm here to win. That's dog mentality. I love that.
Different from where Matthew and Brady Tkachuk were just a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
And it's like the script flipped the other way. Now Team USA is having fun out there, and Team Canada is just all business, trying to get the gold medal.
Well, I'll just say this:
Canada's
they're on a mission. They're on a mission. The mentality, the buy-in, everything is different. The talent is there, and when they say, "Well, they haven't been tested," like there are so many guys in that locker room that have been tested in their own careers, and the leadership in that room. They won't
I don't
fail.
think the D has been tested. Let me rephrase.
Well, I don't think that's going to matter, really.
What was the question last year? Goaltending.
No, I don't think goaltending's going to be the issue for me. I
don't feel. I still.
No, it was for 2
Today
years.
was promising for United States. It was dominating, but I still don't feel confident in Austin Matthews. I still don't feel that confident in Connor Hellebuck. I don't feel confident in Jack Hughes. If you're going to be confident in Brady Tkachuk being your best player, well then
Quinn Hughes
later.
To this puzzle that you were just saying there.
Say that again.
Quinn Hughes is a key piece to the names you were just saying.
Yeah, but I mean, again, the confidence. It's like I'll believe it when I see it, right? And that's just when it comes to this Canada team. I find a hard time seeing the USA with the struggles they already have beating a potentially historically good Canada team. I think it's a combination of both.
But Armando, I just want to go back to you. I'm going to give Canada credit here because, if they haven't been tested, they haven't got complacent either. Foot on the gas the whole way here. And I think that continues with rest.
They handle their business anyway.
Yeah, Armando?
I mean, look what happened. I mean, look what happened in the final game against France. I mean, they wanted to make sure that they got that number 1 seed. I mean, there was no way that even going into the U.S. game that they were going to make up that much. I know last game was Germany, and I was like, okay, the U.S. has to win by 8. And there's like 7 NHL players on Germany, so there was no way they were going to win by 8. So you're thinking about just all gas, no brakes there for Canada, which I have a question for you guys. Do you think that the Olympics, as far as the final game in preliminary play, should they go the FIFA route for the games in the same pool to play at the same time?
Cody?
Maybe. I think so, just so both teams.
Nobody knows their fate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Like that's why that's where you get all the FIFA players. All the FIFA players just doing this.
And if I could just
The entire
backtrack a little bit here, Kirby, I wanted to kind of get your thought on that whole point of being tested versus adversity. I mean, you've talked about international play for the last 2-3 years. Where does this group rank for you? Do you think that there's just a certain confidence and mentality here that, they're almost immune to those challenges that they'll face because they're already so prepared for it?
Yeah, I don't know if this is like a perfect roster on paper when you look at it, like what Cody's talked about from the back end to the goal.
2010's the best
defense. Because you have Hall of Famers there. You had guys established and different things like that. But because of how good this team is up front, they're turning it into what 2014 was, where, they weren't like Carey Price was in a rocking chair. He wasn't even getting challenged. I think Bennington's got challenged more than this. Like Armando was alluding to, already 3 goals in turn. Logan Thompson as well. Like Switzerland was all around the net. In 2014, guys weren't even getting close to Carey Price. It was locked down. Teams couldn't even get through the neutral zone. But like you guys said, they're playing with the puck. And when you've got McDavid out there, Celebrini out there, Crosby out there, and all the players with these centermen are playing well on the wing. And you've got like a line with Stone, Marner, and Crosby. They haven't even broken that line up, Armando, from the start of the tournament. And they've just run with that line. And then, John Cooper has the option of playing McKinnon up on the top line, drop Wilson down. Now you have more of a true bottom 6. So I think this year he's made all the right decisions. Where last year, I think in that short tournament, I didn't like some of the decisions that he was making there, if you recall back there, Armando. Yeah. So again, I don't know where this team is legacy. You have to finish the job. But I think when you look at the forwards, this is a team that will be remembered forever if they get the job done. And I think we should be understanding that in the moment as well.
And do you trust it? Like, for example, like a team like USA to challenge their defense enough? Maybe, potentially. But I mean,
that's where I think the weak point on Canada is.
That's maybe where weak point is. But I mean, again, I also think USA's guys haven't shown the ability to do that. I mean, consistently. I mean, there's for me genuinely a question there with Austin Matthews, Jack Hughes. Higher up the lineup. I know people are going to say the Tkachuk brothers, right? But it's like you need more than the Tkachuk brothers. You need somebody down the middle. And I don't mean Jack Eichel playing well. I mean like legit toe-to-toe. Like this isn't like a role team. Like we can't just be completely role dependent here for Team USA.
Yeah. I just want to bring it back to Armando. Armando, you saw the Czechia game with Canada?
Yes, I did.
Did it remind you of Florida Panthers 5-man system coming back on plays? You don't need to talk about who your defense
correct.
When you play
all 5 goals for Canada in that game came at the crease. So it was,
and which is where the United States has struggled net front.
Yeah, except for today.
But go ahead there, Armando. On that kind of like, if you have a 5-man system, then you're not having to rely on your defense like we're talking about here.
No, you don't. For Canada, when it comes to just, I mean, I know some of the players on the blue line are a little older. I know I mentioned of Drew Doughty earlier, but I mean, Colton Parayko, I mean, if you could get pucks past him and at least get your speed through, that could at least help with those chances of in front of the net on Jordan Binnington there. And for USA, I mean, Thankfully,
it's whenever JT Miller's on the ice.
Yeah,
like
and the thing is, you can't expect your fourth line to get the cookies like they did in the first game as much as they did. So that's why you need to have like your third line, like the Tage Thompsons there, the Dylan Larkins, really take over their matchups really when as the tournament gets further. So I mean, it feels like we're talking about. It feels like the way we're talking is how we're making this out to be an inevitability that USA and Canada will face. But I mean, that's the expectation. Don't get me wrong.
It's the biggest talking point.
So yeah, but at the same time, there's there's all other teams that they need to get by. I mean, Canada does have the easier path there.
Is nobody worried about United States, the size on the back end?
Not necessarily. Not until Canada.
I am a little
bit.
But Sweden is not going to exploit that.
Well, Sweden's not, but if we lose to Sweden, Cody, I mean, this is
a
joke. I mean,
but like, I'm not too like Canada's the one where I worry about it because of the Tom Wilsons, Reinhardt.
When you're constructing a roster, when you're Team USA and you're constructing a roster, are you saying, or are you saying, Kirby, Armando, are you saying, when you're constructing a roster, well, this team's good enough to beat Sweden, this team's good enough to get to a gold medal round, or is it, can this team beat Canada? And look, there's a lot of talent on the back end. I get it. I think they continuously leave talent up front at home because they want to be nitpicky with the roles, and it ends up costing them. But
on the back end, you're saying we didn't leave any size at home. We tried to bring in the size with Seth Jones, but a puck to the collarbone costed all that. In terms of size on the back end, we left none of that at home. There's nothing we could do about that.
How about talent up front?
On the forward front, it's what, Robo for JT Miller? Like, because I don't think if you're worried about size, Caulfield doesn't fix anything. We already have a Cole Caulfield on the team. His name's, we already have a Cole Caulfield. Like, it's
Kyle Connor.
Well, not even him. Like, he's like, I don't even want him on the next Four Nations team or World Cup of Hockey team. It's just, but like in terms of size, like if that's our vice, like we tried it, except he has a broken collarbone right now.
I don't know.
That's why Seth Jones was on this team.
I think it's inevitably going to be Canada.
Yeah, but the only thing is for me is like when I'm staring at this Canadian roster, the guys I'm attacking, Parayko, Sanheim, Doughty, and who the hell is Harley. I'm attacking those guys because Harley's probably the best out of those four, in my opinion. And like I think they're playing Theodore as kind of like that seventh defenseman right now. Am I wrong, Kirby, on that one?
What's that? Is
Theodore kind of like the seventh floater right now for Canada?
Oh, he got moved up when Josh Morrissey went down.
I forgot Morrissey went down. Is he coming back? But then again, Morrissey's like not.
Looks like he will be.
Morrissey's not the one I'm worried about, really. Actually, he's a guy we could probably go after as well.
Cody's very confident here.
It's just in the D. I'm not worried about Canada's goaltending because they have big game goaltending.
When we went back to this earlier, Cody, you got to have the puck enough in that game if we're talking about that game situation to be able to play in that zone.
It's legitimately like just Canada's forwards versus USA's D.
And I think where Canada, it might help them this year with having Macklin Celebrino there, who's a very smart, cerebral player. USA is going to speed their game up because they're like, we need to get chances off the rush. We need to try to expose the defense and all that stuff. Again, with this
that's perfect for Matthew Tkachuk.
That's where, and then Canada wants to go back the other way. They can play that game.
Kirby, that's perfect for Matthew Tkachuk. We love the rush game.
Yeah.
Take some guys
like there was a play where Tkachuk was at the blue because like Werenski or Andor Hughes like pinched up. It was low-key kind of funny because Nick just goes, Matthew Tkachuk, the perfect guy you would want at the blue line.
And I want to know here before we do like transition on here soon. We're gonna have to go to ad break here soon. Armando, what was your medal prediction coming into this, and has it changed at all?
My medal prediction was Sweden, USA, and Canada, 3-2-1. So I had Canada winning, USA second, and then Sweden third. That was mine.
Same as mine.
Exactly.
And I'm saying this.
We're not going to get that though.
I'm saying this
way. He's the only one that could possibly be right now.
Yeah,
like it's just
you guys are done.
But
no, we're going to still finish. We can still finish them, Nick.
But before we go to ad break, I just want to say because I think 2010 was Canada's best team, top to bottom. And I just want to read off the differences. US also finished silver this year as well. I just want to read off the freaking differences in these rosters. For Canada, they had Patrice Bergeron, Dan Boyle, Martin Brodeur, Sidney Crosby, a younger Drew Doughty, prime Marc-Andre Fleury, Ryan Getzlaf, Danny Heatley, Jerome McGinley, Roberto Luongo, Patrick Marleau, Brendan Morrow, Rick Nash, Scott Niedermeyer, Chris Pronger, Corey Perry, Mike Richards, Brent Seabrook, Eric Stahl, Joe Thornton, Jonathan Tim, Shea Weber. Who was the worst player I said? Mike Richards?
Yeah, he was a lot of times the fourth line guy or whatever.
And here's what the U.S. is bringing out here. David Backus, Dustin Brown, Ryan Callahan, and old-ass Chris Drury, Tim frickin' Gleason. I didn't even know he made an Olympic roster. Tim Gleason in 2010? And then Eric Johnson, Jack Johnson, Patrick Kane, Ryan Kessler, Phil Kessel, old-ass Jamie Langenbrunner, Ryan Bugsy Malone, Ryan Miller, Brooks Orpik, Zach Parise, Joe Pavelski, Jonathan Quick, Brian Rafalski, Bobby Ryan, Paul Stastny, Ryan Suter, Tim Thomas, Ryan frickin' Whitney.
And how many seconds were they away from winning goals?
Jamie Langenbrunner.
How many seconds?
They did score in the final minutes to force overtime.
I don't know. I get Ron Wilson wasn't doing that good a job, and Phil Kessel didn't like him, but they somehow got to the gold medal. You know, they kind of screwed the pooch in '98, but they got there in 2010 with, like Cody's saying, on paper, arguably way less talent than what they had there in '98, losing in the quarterfinal or wherever they lost. So speaking
of '98, that's the last time Finland beat Sweden in the Olympics. This was the first time.
And they did it without their best player.
Mm-hmm.
So are we all in agreement that Sweden will beat Latvia here?
I don't know. I'm not saying anything's absolute in this damn tournament right now.
I mean, with the way they played,
Latvia can beat them. I want to get this on record right now.
Well, we'll be live for that.
Can beat them.
We will be live for that.
Latvia is not a pushover.
Me and Ben Saunders going to be live for the Sweden-Latvia game, 3:10 Eastern on Tuesday. Maybe our guy KJ Loops will drop in. He's not
Kirby,
Mr. Big Shot on us.
Yeah. Like Kirby, am I tripping? I don't think Latvia is a pushover for Sweden by any means necessary.
But you can say the other matchups too. I outside of France and Italy, I guess anything is possible on the matchup front. But again, I think you can't be sleeping like I told you on the other side either with Switzerland there. Denmark, I don't know how to think of them. I thought they've played well, Armando, how they've skated in the tournament, how they played against Germany early on. I thought they've competed really well from the two games I've seen of them. So again, what's your takes on that, Armando, on a potential bigger upset than what we saw Slovakia knocking off Finland early on? And then I guess, I don't know if you call Latvia kind of a minor upset over Germany.
Yeah, I mean, there's that possibility with Latvia is a growing nation when it comes to hockey. So but at the same time, if Zemis Girgensons is your top center, I'm not sure how much of a chance I give them.
You don't
when it comes
believe
to
1D Uvis Balinskis?
He did have quite the pizza on the first goal of the game today.
It was like I was watching the Panther game again. I'm like, at least Uvis does this for his country. I don't feel so bad.
You guys, zone.
So yeah, and Sandis Vilmanis is playing top line minutes, but did you guys really notice him?
We talked about this on the Saturday.
I would say the word invisible, and I don't want to be rude to his game and what he's done this year, but just not noticeable.
But this is where his youth is really showing.
Mm-hmm.
But he logged minutes, Armando. But I'm like, where was he in those 14 minutes or 12 minutes? I'm like, I couldn't.
He's still developing.
In the USA game, I found him in the third.
Yeah, he's still developing.
Couldn't find him.
But I don't want to say anything's absolute in the Olympics because in a one game situation, I don't like a goalie could get hot in a game.
The way their coach is coaching this team,
he might pull the goalie on accident in the first period.
Yeah,
and then forget to put the sixth guy out there.
And Sweden, and I'm gonna just say extremely pause here, but I don't care. Sweden struggles with teams that can bang, and Latvia can bang with the best of them.
can Latvia maintain it, or a team like that? If you just want
If they get a lead early, I think they can, because that lead adrenaline does help you later on in a game.
But Armando, didn't Latvia run out of gas by the second period against US? Like
because they were down.
That's a different.
They were down. That was the difference.
Mhm.
No, but I think that can potentially happen with Sweden. One of the best lines. Do you agree with me on this, Armando? One of the best lines in this tournament that I've seen is Eriksson, Kempe, and Nylander. That's been a dynamite line.
Yeah, I mean, and to think that there was a chance that William Nylander wasn't going to play due to the injury, and he was listed as the 13th forward in the practice.
Let's be real, though.
That boy was playing.
Nobody ever thought that he wasn't going to miss, but I mean,
he's not the 13th forward. Philip Forsberg is, right?
well, yeah,
all of
but he was
Toronto
listed
doesn't
as that at the beginning. But yeah,
all of Toronto doesn't like that because he sat out games, whatever, and flipped off the
That's
camera.
not really
Yeah.
bad.
That boy was playing. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Why do you think he sat out?
I think he has a Superman cape in his Swedish
but-
locker room there.
But anyway, as we move on to the later parts of our show, let's hear a word from our sponsor, Gainswear.
Panthers fever is here. Are you geared up? Caneswear in Davie is the place for all your Florida Panthers needs. They have the latest gear for our favorite NHL team. Jerseys, polos, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and more. Caneswear has you covered. Stop by their store in Davie or at pantherswear.com. Again, that's Pantherswear, WEAR.com for all your Panthers gear.
And let's hear another word from another sponsor, Jeremy Beckham at Beck Sells FLA. Champions don't settle, and neither should you. Let me introduce Jeremy Beckham at Beck Sells FLA, bringing a competitive edge to South Florida luxury real estate. If you want a home that performs in all three zones, location, lifestyle, and long-term value, Jeremy is your power play. The clock is ticking. Let's go for the cup. Reach out now at becksellsfla.com.
Thank you, Cody. Just a couple housekeeping items here. I want to thank everyone for our record-breaking live streams. The Canada stream's getting over 20K. The stream today, I think Nick said over 8K on that game, 4K on the other one. So these are all-time streams, including our playoff streams, our breaking news streams. So we appreciate all of you new fans that have come into the community. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment on the videos as well. That helps our algorithm. Purchase a super chat donation anytime we're live, such as now. We really appreciate those. It goes a long way. You can buy a membership, gold, silver, or bronze. You can gift another membership to other members in the community. RC, big shout out to you. You've been gifting members all week long here on our live stream. So I appreciate that, RC. And I've seen you on the Canada and the USA live streams. So a shout out to you there. And lots of access to other great perks as well. We're going to be mailing off our Matthew Tkachuk signed framed picture there, Nick, here to Jay Osceola. Finally got a hold of him here. So a big contest winner there.
I feel like we've been holding on to that one for a while.
Yeah,
For a while. I was trying to track
Christmas.
But Kirby, you had this a topic picked out before
Yes.
this.
Caesar, I'm putting Caesar on the spot. I should have wrote it in the private chat there. But there was comment made today from Matthew Tkachuk on the ice to Leon Draisaitl. My topic is here today. And again, Caesar, I don't know if you want to talk about that first to tee up the audience. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what happened. But go ahead, Caesar. And then I'll give you my topic.
Let me see if I can find the quote here.
I can read off for you if you want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Matthew Tkachuk said, and I quote, "The bridesman again, eh, Leon? Always the bridesmaid, never the bride."
They were going at it. And before I get to my question, we'll talk about it a little bit here. What were your thoughts, Armando? Social media is a buzz with it. I think this is going to carry some weight. And then obviously it's probably going to carry and intensify into a potential USA and Canada matchup down the road because it's another Edmonton Oiler that, Matthew Tkachuk and Team USA might run into.
I mean, Leon is the more talkative person out of him and Connor, so he gets to be more fired up when things don't go his way. And for those listening here, Kirby did text me earlier today about a video of Leon Draisaitl getting frustrated about the power play and the miscommunication. Jamie Compon, it looked like that he was trying to calm him down a little bit from all
Don't think it worked.
So I'm not sure.
Jamie Compon, Florida Panthers assistant coach that runs the power play for the Panthers. Yeah. Did the Germany, just to jump in a little off topic here, did the Germany power play look a lot like the Panthers power play?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like from the zone
entry,
to the pass.
They don't have a
Coincidence
Reinhart,
a little
but
bit?
just a little, but
Go ahead, Armando. Yeah.
but yeah,
like,
I love
holy
it, and,
shit,
and
dude.
you got to love a little bit of history there between the two guys of like, you know, when you have playoff series and, you know, the likelihood of meeting the same team in the final round in back-to-back years, it's very unlikely, and the fact that
The
you
same
grow
result.
this and the same result for it to happen, that's like less than a 5% chance of happening in back-to-back years. So, you know, getting into his head, you got to love it there and just playing the mind games. And Kachuk is going to do that. And the fact that his brother Brady is also following suit, you know, he probably leading the charge more than Matthew is, that we could argue, as far as like the physicality and like what he's doing out there. And then, of course, the clutch factor. Brady has been more of the clutch person as far as international play, going back to Four Nations even last year.
I think he's by far been Team USA's best player.
Yeah, could argue.
Cody or Nick,
What is?
for my question. Anything to add on?
Nah, he said it perfectly.
Forever the bridesmaid.
Okay, my question here is, and again, we've talked about what Brady's done internationally, the bridesmaid, you know, Leon. So if this was a wedding, so to speak, you know, Brady's standing right next there to Matthew. I don't think he could say as much as Matthew.
No, they don't
because
have
what
the
Matthew
history.
has done here. So if Leon's the bridesmaid, what is Brady Kachuk at the wedding? Is he the bartender? Is he the person greeting the people at the door? You guys got to be creative here. What is Brady Kachuk?
Best man.
No,
He's up there. He's that far into the wedding. What he's done with Ottawa?
he's the Uber driver that takes the drunks bridesmaids back to their hotel.
No, I'm
He
gonna say he's the MC.
So he's in that much play. Okay.
Yeah.
Like again, we're not talking what you guys just said international. I'm talking what he's done NHL.
You really think about it, he's gotten closer to a cup than Draisaitl. Physically, not like actually.
Oh.
The reason I'm saying he's the MC is
Physically, not actually.
he's actually scoring the points here for Team USA.
Yeah, but we're talking
and the
Ottawa
best.
accolades.
He's setting the tone for Team USA.
He's actually
Leon can say stuff back to Brady if he's standing there chuckling with his brother.
like
Caesar has a point there though, because it's either the MC and or DJ. It could for how whatever you define MC as, because think about Brady even going back to when Matthew was in Ottawa. What was Brady doing? He was in the stands with a Calgary Flames shirt, drinking Bud Light, and just going nuts.
Yeah.
So
He's
the hype man. You have to be the hype man.
let me change my answer. Let me change my answer. Brady is the distant cousin that sits in the back row of the wedding that's only there for the food.
That's a little bit better because Brady has been in the playoffs. So I think that's a little better than the Uber driver.
Like he's almost there. Like he's in the back row.
And they're like, oh, I kind of know him or I heard about him, right?
Yeah, he's like, oh,
and there's some good stories about him, right? About
like, oh, this dude is an absolute legend in college or whatever the case may be. Like one of those guys. But no, but here's the thing. When Brady's chirping right behind him, it might piss off Leon the fact that Brady even thinks about chirping him.
Yeah,
like that. It would piss me off. Like, buddy, you have never done anything either. Why are you talking to me?
He could be the single man who's at the wedding, who meets the other side of the family and sees an attractive girl and say, "Let me talk to her. Let me flirt with her." So let me get to know her.
This weekend coming up, like this is.
But the question is, will you grab the number at the end of the night?
No, he did. It's the first date.
DWG in a big game.
The first date is Wednesday against.
I like that, Armando. See, we're getting some creativity going.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to put down what his game is. Like, Caesar, you're kind of looking at it like through a lens right now. Like I'm talking about it as a larger scope in Ottawa as the captain, team on his back. A lot of problems there. Like the one knock that I'll give Brady is Cody kind of alluded to it, is his diet and stuff like that. You look at like with Macklin Celebrini right now is working with his trainer, not playing kickball with the other guys in the background. He's like, I'm working with my trainer and working on stuff when guys are having fun in warmups. This dude's not having fun in warmups, Armando. So we know what Brady might be doing at the cafeteria and stuff like that.
No.
There's levels to this.
I don't think I ever brought up that. I just said he's very headstrong. That's his biggest thing for me. It's his biggest strength and his biggest weakness is
Well, you
being.
said he was eating or whatever after whatever was one.
I don't know. It's just like he has a gut on him. Let's be real.
It's like
he's
he's
got
up
one.
against Crosby, Barkov, Celebrini.
But I'm in no way, shape, or form to complain about somebody's diet.
Well,
But
and I'm not going to get on a professional either. Like
yeah. But I always thought he was just
Armando.
He's so like direct, and that's how he plays. Like Matthew is scaling everything, and he's looking, and he's a lot like smarter than Brady in certain aspects of hockey. Brady is bull in a china shop.
He like with Brady, the fact that he's a better skater, that means you're good, and that means whenever the hits get delivered, it's going to be more forceful for him. For
Kachuk, 2 big hits today.
For Matthew, you could kind of probably see him coming a little bit more. But as far as the size, Matthew has a little bit more beef physically, so that's why that makes up for his lack of speed.
He's stockier, and like as Matthew's hits are what Nick likes to say. He just sticks his ass out there and hopes he gets you.
The reverse hip check.
Clean or not for
like he caught Gensel pretty good, and then like a couple years ago,
I think the biggest hit of the day, Jack Hughes laying the first hit of his career.
Oh my gosh,
Austin Matthews. Who also laid the first hit of his career. So,
but I want to say, like, when Matthew gets himself into good spots, he can really rock a guy, and I think that's because of his intellect. It's not because of his ability or power. It's like he puts himself in good spots.
There's a reason why Zach Cassian hated his ass. He used to rock Cassian.
I mean, Matthew's hockey IQ is brilliant. I mean, look at the goal that he set up to Brock Faber. The NBC broadcast broke it down that he was already looking at the blue line right before that puck made it all the way to the rim, and he's already looking, boom, set him up, boom, goal right there. So the way Matthew can just anticipate plays. And I mean, one thing that the Panthers missed with Matthew is the fact that whenever he freezes in the neutral zone and allows his teammates to go up the ice, he could really truly hit that stretch pass from the near side to the far side.
Oh my gosh.
Armando, what about the small to medium area passes? I think that's what's improved just with him coming back into the line. And that's what he does with USA. He does it in probably smaller areas, and you can't notice it because these are all world players with USA, but you sure notice it with Florida and off of the transition and rush. Throw it to areas, and like you said, just wait that little extra second too.
And listen, one of the bigger highlight goals that we've seen for the Florida Panthers in these last few years was, as we mentioned earlier on the stream, about that goal from Gustav Forsling that snuck in on the short side on Jeremy Swayman. How did that start? A stretch pass from Matthew Tkachuk in the neutral zone. That's how
not much was going in that game.
Yeah. In a 1-1 game was.
And also to display it, I think it's up there for Panthers history, but the most iconic goal in Panthers history. Game 4, Carolina, 4 seconds left.
Yeah.
It's that extra second that he takes. Yep. The St. Louis game this year, he did it there too. Yep. It's the extra second that he takes. That's what separates the good players versus the elite players. Like Erod is the perfect prime example of it, where he rushes when he has a good chance.
And Lusto's like, I kind of got stuck on my stick. What do I do?
And Bennett is hit or miss. He's either shooting it to Yucatan or just
he looks like the best player on the planet.
The best sports comparison I can make is Le'Veon Bell for the Steelers. When he would get the handoff, you see it.
I
looked around, Armando. Like, did a whistle go? Did the play stop?
It's like nope.
Kenneth Walker after not getting touches all year and going off the fucking Super Bowl. So, thanks, Clint Kubiak, Mike McDonald. You're on my fucking fantasy team.
It's just like that extra second of patience that's just different with Matthew Tkachuk. And Barkov has it too. McDavid has it too. All the elite players have it.
Slafkovsky is developing it.
Austin Matthews can make history at #Milano Cortina 2026 if they continue to scroll down. Most points on Team USA, #Team USA in Olympic involving NHL players. 8 Brett Hull 02, 8 Zach Parise 2010, Brian Rafalski 2010, 8 Phil Kessel 2014, 7 John Leclerc in 02, 6 Mike Modano in 02, and then Matthews and Tkachuk in 2026. Is it
possible we get multiple players breaking Gretzky's record?
Yes.
because I don't
I
think
gotta
there's.
jump in there. Did you hear that, Armando? How Cody said Cortina? He added like a little Spanish flavor on it. That's what it sounded like to me.
Translation. Well, cortina in Spanish means curtain.
It
Yeah.
does.
Huh?
Yeah. So
I
more-
grew up
it's the same-
Miami,
same
man.
word.
I don't know what you want me to do. Like,
I had to ask Armando there.
like that's why I struggled so bad in French because I wanted to say everything in a Spanish accent.
They're
Like,
like, no,
no,
it's French.
it's this, and I'm like,
like there's so many. We could go down this rabbit hole, but there's so many different Latin roots that just relate. Like, for example, in Portuguese, cerveza, in Spanish is cerveza. In Portuguese, it's cerveja, so which is
Yeah.
beer. So,
Yep.
so
And,
yeah,
like,
there's a lot of the similarities.
Italian and Spanish are very similar.
Very similar.
Very
Vino is the
similar.
same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Except
Wine.
the only difference is Italians like to add the extra e to everything.
Like
Like Spanish to sleep, dormir.
Yeah.
Italian, dormire. Like it's
Yep.
that. It's legit.
like
That's
that.
the difference.
amore, love.
Yeah.
I love.
Like,
Like
so that's
Like,
another
it's-
one.
Come on, help us out here, Nick, on the Italian end.
he ain't got a chance in hell. Like,
Armando and I got you on the Spanish.
Sí, nosotros hablamos mucho español, chicos.
Bastante.
Sure.
We need to
Yeah.
have a Spanish live stream feed, Nick. We need to have that going.
like
Can we-
no, if I'm in an area,
I
where
would be sitting there so fucking lost.
Cafecito, por favor.
You're like,
Come join us at Locked On Panteras de la Florida.
there you go.
What he said,
Armando
yes.
dropped the new channel, sub channel.
No clue.
like
I ain't got a
like-
chance in hell.
Like Nick,
You know
I'm
what?
taking you to El Rey de la Frita, Miami, and I'm just gonna have you order.
Bird Road is my El Rey de las Fritas, by the way.
Look, my mom grew up in Westchester, so I know that area like the back of my hand.
Right
Kirby,
next
do
to
you know- Kirby-
right next to Bird Bowl.
Yep.
Kirby, you following along?
Dude, I want
Vicky's is also good too. Vicky's.
No.
Which one? Cuban guys? You said
Cuban guys.
that place is great.
Hey, Kirby, I'm gonna take you to Cuban guys whenever you come down to South Florida. You're gonna get a pancombi steak, and you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
You say that before someone
Hey,
else.
Kirby likes the Latina women.
They gonna die
We're not going
hard.
down there tonight. Susan.
What?
We
They
got a
gonna
lot
die
of
hard?
serious business. We'll leave
There
that
it
for
is,
the office.
Oh, by the way, since I no longer live in South Florida, I live in Orlando. They expanded Vicky's Bakery up here to Orlando, and the
Oh.
collaboration that they have with Flanagan's actually has
No.
gone up here to Vicky's
Wait,
Bakery. So
what's the collaboration?
croqueta poppers.
No. Yes, they have it here too.
Yeah, I tried it. It's actually really good.
Oh my God,
Armando,
Cameron.
are you still waiting on
Cameron
that?
sent me a video the other day of him having him. He's like,
I might drive to Orlando tomorrow.
Amazing.
Armando, are you still waiting on that Flanagan's expansion up north?
No, Flanagan's even said it on their social media, South Florida only. So I've given up
South
hope
Florida
on that.
only.
I mean, at least we have Duffy's up here.
We can only hope and pray for
Look,
Flanagan's to expand.
Yeah.
Hey,
Like,
I'm
no.
open Jose to anything. I got a little bit of flavor. I'm
Yeah.
not this salt and pepper
Hey.
Saskatchewan kid that was raised.
Kirby and I are
tried to
in,
cook
in
my
that
own
hot
food.
sauce phase. So
Yeah, that
No,
killed me back in the day,
the-
Caesar.
They did they did open a Vicky's Bakery in Weston recently.
yes, they did. It's like literally 5 minutes right
There
over
was-
the bridge, right?
There are so many places in South Florida.
Weston, I
I
think that's our girl Lex's old
I
song.
miss Pollo Tropical so much. It's like I know it's like not the greatest thing, but I miss it so badly.
Ooh, the black beans,
Well,
white rice.
well,
Oh.
well,
Don't get me started.
there's only
please.
one Pollo Tropical in Tallahassee, and it happens to be on Florida State.
It's in the freaking student union, and half the menu's gone. Like
Damn.
it's just troppy chops and fucking wraps.
You guys are gonna make everyone so hungry. It's gonna be like Cody
Like
and
I can't even
Nick
get the
on his
fucking
late night run on
rolls. Like,
Spaces going to get some food.
like oh.
Or
And
you guys
here's
in the
what
morning at
pisses-
work. People are gonna be listening to this in the morning at work at their office, and you guys are making them so
Like
hungry.
no. And here's
Hey.
what pisses me off: people
Nick is-
ruin their troppy chops so fucking badly. Sour cream and cheese does not belong on a damn troppy chop.
Are we doing
Black
this for
pizza
another
rice,
podcast? Is this our
like,
next
no.
podcast episode?
I mean,
Like, no.
Nick's got the chicken cutlets. So
Oh
hey,
yeah, Nick.
bring on the buffet.
You need everyone there. Maybe Armando, Cody. You need to get everyone in there. Caesar deserves a chicken cutlet dinner after this, Nick, from all this Olympic work. I'm just
Well,
saying.
it's funny. Caesar and I actually have spoken off the record
Yep.
that I have to take him to Pincho Factory.
I'm waiting.
He still has not been.
Nope.
I need a link
Uh,
to check that place out.
And I
Uh,
live
Caesar-
here in
Deals
South
you
Florida.
making off air, Caesar?
Caesar, Caesar, next time I'm down there, I'm buying you Flanagan's.
As long as your car doesn't break down again.
Oh damn!
We don't.
No. That
Or
wasn't a breakdown. That was
Kirby,
just
what
me
type of
turning into a
deals are
Beyblade on
Caesar freaking negotiating off air here? Fuck, you got cutlets, you got all
Caesar,
this
whatever
other
I
shit.
just said there, you've negotiated that on air. That's nothing off air.
What's that?
That's me advocating for you, Caesar.
You're advocating. That's negotiation, though.
Jose, have
Don't
fun
take however you
at
put it.
That's
Cali,
negotiation.
baby. The second place is the greatest place on earth, Tallahassee, Florida.
Armando, don't mind us. It's day 5 or 6 Olympics. We're pretty exhausted. We've been going hard here. So.
No, I mean, trust me. I've
All right.
getting up at 5 a.m. and then after the games are over, I'm refereeing in the evening.
On
4 hours of sleep.
I'm watching the games at 6 and they have work at 9. I'm like, ugh.
Cody, we haven't seen sometimes at nights because he's had long days. So we're just take this evening off. But we're gonna take Monday off.
But predictions right now, because the qualifying rounds are on Tuesday. I'm just gonna read through the games. Y'all tell me each, starting with Kirby, then Armando, Nick, and then Caesar. I'll get mine at the end.
Before we do, I want to give a shout out to the boy.
Kevin
Fiala.
Fiala.
He ended up fracturing his, I believe, tibia.
It's tibia.
He had multiple fractures. That's him in the hospital bed. Seems to be in recovery mode. Will be out for the regular season and for the foreseeable future. Hope he gets well soon. Such a gruesome injury. Man, don't want to see any of the Olympic players get hurt, especially during this.
I just want to add on that. Ben and I were live streaming that game, so that was pretty tough there to kind of see that happen as we're trying to break it down to people that are all around the globe that didn't have this game. We're trying to break it down to them. What did Wilson do there? Okay, what happened to Fiala there? And then all the emergency staff come out. I think there's 8 to 10 people that came rushing out on the ice to help him out there.
The way he left the ice, it was kind of
he was facing down the whole time.
Which is weird. Is that something that's done in Europe?
It probably is.
They just don't know how to handle a situation.
I don't know.
I don't know. I thought there could be something.
The way they handle soccer over there is actually freaking hilarious. The way they just be throwing, they'd be dropping the damn guys sometimes.
The old Mike went down.
Like they're trying to sprint off.
I just want to say to Steve's point, I thought the medical staff did a good job from what I saw in the live stream.
But big blow for the Kings. Luckily, they have Artemi Panarin now. So he basically fills that hole for him.
Yeah, our boy Jersey Jim Behringer was here on Saturday night. He said, do they go after a Patrick Laine? He said that, right, Nick? Or some other type player? To see.
They already have a Kuzmenko. That's already Laine.
I can see that Laine fit. Even though I don't like Laine as a player, I could see that kind of, hey, we can get him in here. It's not going to cost a lot. But Montreal wants to move that salary.
But it's an expiring deal, so you don't have to put a first-round pick attached to it. You could get a 2 and a 5, a 3 and a 5, maybe.
And like I said, Montreal didn't need him. I stood on
future Panther Patrick Laine.
Oh my gosh,
we could use the bomb on the power play. That's all I'm saying.
Where's he gonna play, Cody?
It's Mike Hoffman again. Just throw
where.
That's what I was about to say. Qualified, a better Mike Hoffman offensively.
I don't know.
Except he's a right-handed shot.
What did he say?
Throw him in no sec. Give him 5 minutes.
You can jump, freaking no sec Lion Gadjevich. Oh, that's a great fourth line.
Paul Maurice will get him to play that 200-foot game.
But you think Paul Maurice wants Patrick Laine back?
I mean, his best year was under Paul Maurice, so why the hell not?
That's true, actually. He had
I don't know. Paul Maurice
when he was in the same breath as Austin Matthews, Paul Maurice was his damn coach.
To motivate him.
But I mean, there's no more Fortnite. We're good. Fortnite's gone. But anyway, first up, the first for qualifying round game. I'm just gonna go through it quick because this game's not gonna need much talking points, if any. Germany versus France.
Starting at the top here.
Kirby, you're up first. Germany versus France. Give me score prediction.
Germany's got a rebound here in the last couple games or so. Germany.
All right. So what's the score? What's your prediction?
Scores now. Jeez.
Oh.
Just throw me out something. I ain't got
6-2.
6-2. Armando.
7-2. 7-1, maybe.
All right. Big C's.
I'm gonna say.
Hold on. Before C says this, he's got a big pool going on with Jesse Pollock. There's about 10, 12 people. You need some Germany points in that game, Caesar. You got
Yes,
two
I'm going to say Germany will win 5-1.
Okay.
Nick.
Hey, I'm doing pretty good with the lineup that I picked.
Fuck, it might be 8. It might be 8-0. I'll go 7-1.
I'm gonna go 6-0. Draisaitl hat trick.
Ooh.
Next up, Switzerland versus Italy. Kirby, you're up first.
I don't know how much
it's tougher just deciding the score.
I don't know how much pucks Italy can keep out of their net, how many they can score.
Even though Damian Claro showed out pretty good against Sweden.
Give that type of game again, I don't know. But like Switzerland, they scored 4 goals off the bat on France, so I think to open up the tournament there. So, and the way that they were getting scoring chances against Canada, they can put the puck in the net. Let's go 6-0 Switzerland.
Mr. Velez.
4-1 Switzerland.
Big C's.
What 2 teams again?
Switzerland and Italy.
Yeah, Switzerland. I'm going to say 4-0.
Nick.
6-1 Switzerland.
That's me there.
I'm going to go 7-1. Nino Niederreiter 2-2.
And I think just to add on Switzerland part there, I think they've got enough to get by without Fiala. They look really good,
Yep. Next up, now we're getting to the true matchups. Czechia versus Denmark. Kirby, you're up first.
Just Czechia. This team, I can't figure them out. Armando, they gave up 3 goals to France there in that middle period and then stormed back, beat them there. Man. Denmark, I really like how they've skated throughout this tournament. I really like, what I've seen on the two of the 3 games I've watched from them. Wow, this one could be a little bit of a shocker. I think this could be a little bit of a scare here for Czechia. Let's go overtime 4-3 Czechia.
Armando.
Lucas Dolstall has been a little shaky to start the tournament, and I mean, David Pastrnak Canada knew how to shut him down when they needed to. For what Canada had versus Czechia, but I just think there's just too many clutch players on Czechia. I mean, credit to Marty Necas for at least forcing overtime against Switzerland. So I'm gonna go Czechia in this one. I'm gonna say maybe like a final score of like 5-4 in regulation.
Big C's.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Armando there. I'm gonna make it I'll go with the same score, 5-4. Czechia.
I'm going to go 5-3, maybe 6-3. I could see it being 4-3 late into the third. You get a quick, go to make it 5-3 and then an empty netter. I'll go 6-3, Czechia.
Wow, we're all holding form here with the same teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give me 4-3 overtime Denmark.
Oh, okay. First one. Yeah, like I said, this one could be.
I think Dostal gets B5-hole for the game winner.
This might not be a great matchup for Czechia.
I just don't think they played too well. And Denmark, I think, has had their skating legs in every game they've been in. So
I'll go.
And you're talking about a good skating team in Denmark, where I think Czechia has been one of the worst skating teams in the
I'll go actually 5-3. Let empty netter to make it 5-3.
And maybe Radko Gudas, a little -2, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, the last game.
McDavid got Gudas pretty good in one of the games.
Yes, Gudas was feeling it.
And the last one.
I'm telling you, McDavid's on a different level right now.
Sweden versus Latvia.
Sweden versus Latvia. I'm not bold enough to say any upset here. I don't know what we're going to see out of Latvia. I wonder how much gas they have left in the tank, what type of goaltending they're going to get here. Dealing with some goaltending switch over there. Pure exhaustion, right? That Merzlikins had to leave that game against the U.S. I'll go 5-2 Sweden.
All right. Armando.
Will they go back to Shilovs is the question. I mean, they did after the USA game.
I think you do.
So I think that he gets the net, and I think it's going to be a 2-1 Sweden win. I think this one's going to be low scoring.
All right.
This one. So 2-1 Sweden.
Although I do want Latvia to win. I do want them to win.
Why do you want them to win?
I just think, I mean, they deserve it. They
They deserve it.
they do.
Your path, they deserve it.
Love the reasoning.
Is he bullshitting me, Cody?
Keep it simple, right?
Yeah.
We did. Screw them, right, Nick?
Are the Cowboys going to win Super Bowl? Yeah, they deserve it. Like,
I know.
Every
Look,
year.
Look. I'm just saying this because
The
I
way
haven't
they
been impressed
played.
with Sweden. I haven't
The
been
way they
impressed
played.
with the way they've been playing. Their coach, the coaching decisions that they've been making, with their lineups, they don't really deserve to be in this situation to
Wow.
be in the medal round.
Oh.
So why
Both
not?
support material for Sweden in a quarterfinal matchup from Big C's. Please don't put that out there.
Listen,
Now,
this is
even
one of
though
many podcasts
Sweden,
of it.
I do
How is
need
this bulletin
Sweden
board?
to advance for my pool, but I'm gonna pick Sweden to win, 3-2, in a close game.
What was that, Armando?
I mean, this is one of many hockey podcasts. I don't know how much bulletin board material it really is when they're across
Put
the
out
world.
there, Swedish. We won't know.
all right, Nick.
Well, to give some more bulletin board material for Sweden, if their moron coach gets his head out of his ass, it'll be 5-2 Sweden.
Okay, with me there. But Armando's onto something. There's got to be some unders here, some low scoring.
Listen, let me just say this.
I just think this is
I'm
where all the
usually-
I don't think these are going to be very good games. I'm going to be honest with you.
There's nothing nothing weird has happened in the Olympics yet so far.
Only one
Yeah,
overtime game.
So once
No.
Canada loses to Czechia, Kirby, then that's the weird thing we're looking for, right?
I don't know. I think Slovakia was a bit of a stunner, but this is where I think the high scoring games probably end after this.
Let me just say this. I'm exit out of this because I want like the screen. I think Sweden is very good up front, and their back end is good on paper.
All right, let me give you the whole.
But the one thing I do believe in is this: their goaltending will let them down. 4-2 Latvia, empty netter, by the way. Give me that. That's right.
Wow. Okay, so you guys were laughing at me about making me hoping Latvia would win.
No,
Yeah,
I
but you
was gonna
just-
say, that's a bunch of copium from Cody because of the side of the bracket, but we'll see. But I will agree with you guys. Maybe Sweden gets a scare here, but be ready for a rip.
I think their goaltending could let them down.
I'm with that. This could let them down this game versus the game versus USA, where there'd be more like 3-2 hockey game. I feel. That's fair, but I don't know if
It's just to me like their goaltending's been very shaky all tournament. And Latvia is a team, like I said, Latvia is very physical, and I think Sweden struggles against that.
we maybe haven't seen Latvia's best game yet. Like Armando, we've seen it in World Championships, World Juniors. Is this where they have a situation to show their best game?
And Latvia's usually best game comes in this type of game right here. This is where they upset Canada in the World Juniors.
If Sweden loses to Latvia in the quarterfinals,
PTSD back to
I don't even know. I mean,
Quick
they should
question:
make
How many
them
bells
walk
do
to
I
Sweden.
get if they
I mean-
do win?
Oh, well, just hit the bell the whole show.
Like
Like the whole
that
show.
would just be an incredibly. That'd be my biggest double.
Look, if Latvia wins, I want a Locked On Panthers tweet.
Armando's gonna be talking about it on his show.
Shocker.
And make sure
Otherwise,
you
he's gonna
tweet.
be, what were these jokers talking about in the Cats and Rats?
And
Oh,
on that
man.
tweet, make sure you put Big C says they deserve
Mhm.
it.
They deserve it.
The words of Big C.
And then Cody is
Hey,
people argue about
sees, if they do, automatic invite to the show. Put it.
Let's go.
This
You
week.
heard it here first.
You know what?
Nick,
Fuck
hold
it.
on, Nick. No, Nick, don't jump on. You know what? You're gonna argue about if this happens. They're gonna argue who had it first, and Caesar and Cody are just gonna be arguing about it the whole time.
Yeah.
I actually predicted it.
But
He
Caesar,
just said they deserve it. Like,
Can I just say for the
no, Caesar
content?
picked Latvia, didn't you, Caesar?
Should
No,
I?
I picked Sweden.
Okay.
3-2.
Should I say for the content? Fuck it, 4-3 Latvia.
like I have reasoning behind mine. This is like I said, I don't think.
And if this doesn't happen and they get routed, I'm bringing Canadian Ryan on. We're gonna clown on you. You guys all go with Latvia if you want.
I'm not going with Latvia.
You know, Latvia. Yeah, no, it's 5-2.
Nick hates to go.
Look, I'm staying on this boat. Look,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with my gut, and this is how I feel about it. Like I truly think Sweden's
We just
goaltending.
heard how you feel about it.
Yeah, I know,
We're
but
not
I'm not
saying
like
it's all
just.
monologue.
I'm just not like C's where it's just like they deserve a ham sandwich right there. They
Oh,
deserve
shout
it
out
right there.
Shannon.
Shout out
Kirby, do
Shannon
you know
Hollingsworth.
Canucks Clay.
Oh
Shannon?
yes! Wow, Shannon, appreciate it. Over there on Clay Canucks channel, appreciate it. Swerve and Urban that comes by here as well. So shout out there. The Canucks guys are great.
I got mixed up. I got mixed up with the Shannon, the hockey guy.
I
That's
know,
his real
right?
name.
Yeah, no. Originally, I think
Another
Shannon. Shannon's over on Clay Canucks channel. I think they're going live. Let me do the math here, like 2 a.m. Eastern time or something tonight. So,
yeah, but but Kirby Benson, like the World Juniors and World Championships, this is like when Latvia actually plays their best. Is when it gets into the bracket play, when it comes to the single elimination types.
Hey, I'm locked into this game because here at the Cats and Rats, we're going to be covering that side of the bracket with the USA game. So I want to be observer.
I want some stunners. I want some juice in this. I want some turmoil. I want some countries being pissed off. Like in
Cody, what are you doing if Czechia beats Canada?
I actually may be on the ground laughing. I would genuinely be on the ground laughing. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen in a million years.
No,
Let me just put that out there. But if that did happen,
I like that he said that on the record, Nick. I like that was on the record. Everyone heard that.
There's no chance of that.
You think I actually fucking going to pick
Czechia?
Czechia
There's no way. Like, and I would actually, I wouldn't text Kirby or Ryan because you guys would do it for me. Oh, bye, Nick. I wouldn't text Kirby or Ryan if that happened, but I would genuinely be on the floor.
Hey, I was here for Four Nations when we lost again.
Fucking hate this computer.
I would genuinely be on the floor.
But anyways, are we wrapping up here, gentlemen? Armando, where can everyone follow you? What do you have ahead this week? Let us know.
Well, tomorrow we are going to just wrap up the weekend for what happened at in the preliminary round, and then we'll just preview. We'll just preview the qualification, and obviously you'll hear some things repeated from here to tomorrow. But hey, you'll get like my own little twist and introduction to it. So can't wait to talk about that on my channel, the Locked On Florida Panthers podcast, anywhere you listen to podcasts, and on YouTube.
Sounds good, Armando. We'll put that below here on the episode later so you guys can follow Armando on his social media.
Can't wait to go from talking about the excitement of the Olympics to whether or not the Panthers are going to get a top 10.
No, I am fully prepared for that. I am
path.
fully prepared for that conversation. And let me just say this.
This is another time with Armando.
We may be covering the Olympics right now, but the second it is over, Kirby, we need that podcast episode. Because we have a lot of different topics.
This guy's talking about going on cruises. He wants to pump out podcast episodes right after.
Hey, there is a player on Latvia.
Until after the draft.
There is a player on Latvia right now who's draft eligible come this.
Yeah, the 18-year-old.
We've heard about him. We've heard about him.
Left-handed shot defenseman.
We got a write-up on him from our very own Jamie in the community. Jamie's hitting some W's. So
yeah, damn, what the hell is his
Maybe
name?
he should just be
Albert
like
Smith.
Florida Panthers.
Smith, there it
Latvian
is.
scout.
I heard his name quite a bit in the U.S. game. So, but
maybe he should be the Florida Panthers Latvian scout.
Jamie's covering all the Latvian stuff here. So, C's, take it away.
Yeah, no. Anything else, gentlemen, before we go?
No, I guess wrapping up here on the end of the Olympic preliminaries.
Yep.
It is now game 7s from here on out. Signing off here tonight.
We're gonna play a video before we sign
no
off.
Problem.
Cody, so.
No problem. You could end the video like we do on After Dark usually. But signing off here thank you for Mr. Armando Velez for joining us here tonight.
I'm going to jump in first. Cody, you have not been on here on the Canada post-game days, so I'm going to jump in because you can't cut me off. Let's go, Canada.
USA.
Go ahead.
As long as it's not the last word. But
hey, look.
I'll be getting the last word.
Against 1 right now. So.
But anyway, we appreciate everyone here for watching with us tonight. For Armando, Big C's, Kirby, Nick, and myself, we say thank you. And as always, let's go Team USA.
In Milan will be the best we've seen in more than a decade. Men's ice hockey has been part of every Winter Olympics since 1924, but the best players in the world haven't always played. When you look at this yearly timeline since 2002, Olympic years are here in light blue. Then the dark blue years show when players from the NHL or National Hockey League participated, which last happened in Sochi in 2014. These next two charts show the Team USA and Team Canada Olympic rosters in blue and red, with each of the 25 players per team shown as a dot in 2026, then a line extending backwards in time, showing when each of these players first entered the NHL. Now remember, these are 50 of the best players in the world, and when we drop a line down in 2014, something really stands out. 37 of the 50 rostered athletes here weren't even in the league yet, and across all 50 players, only 2, Sidney Crosby and Drew Doughty, actually played in the 2014 Olympic Games in Sochi. What that means is an entire generation of superstars are getting their first chance to represent their country on the biggest stage, including names you probably already know, like Nathan MacKinnon, Connor McDavid, and Austin Matthews, all MVPs of the NHL, who will experience this heated rivalry for the very first time. Not only is it the first time in a while for the NHL in the Olympics, it's the best time. This chart tracks the NHL nationality share from 1980 to today. So the x-axis is time and the y-axis is the percent of league's players by country. In 1980, about 82% of NHL players were Canadian, shown here in red. Around 11% were American in blue, and most other countries were under 5%. But when we add in the lines, look at how that's changed. Canada is now around 42%, the US is at 28%, Sweden near 10%, Russia at 7%, and Finland at 5%. There's no major sport in America that has more national skill parity than the NHL, especially with those US and Canada lines converging more in recent years. Now, if we zoom out to all 12 Olympic teams and show each full roster with these bars, you can see how many of each nation's players are currently playing in the NHL, commonly considered the world's best league. Canada, the US, and Sweden have full rosters of NHL players. Finland has all but one player in the league, and then it drops from there, all the way down to Italy, who currently have no rostered NHL players on their Olympic team. So for most of these guys, it's not just another tournament. It's their first chance to represent their country on the biggest stage hockey has, and it's happening at the most competitive moment in the sport's history. Follow for more sports data visualizations. Right at you, the beating undivided, all of us is in my head.